Today I'm going to present to you the Matthew Shepard Hate Crimes Prevention Act. What happened to Matthew is a little like this. The bill was proposed as a result of Matthew Shepard's death, a man who was sadly killed because of his sexual orientation. This essentially means he was a victim of a hate crime, which is a crime that specifically targets a group of people based on color, race, gender, etc. The bill, represented by the hamster, was actually a rider to the National Defense Authorization Act of 2010. The bill was initially proposed in the Senate.
This act passed October 28, 2009 during the 111th session of Congress, expanded the United States Federal Hate Crime Act of 1969 to include gender identity, sexual orientation, and disability as hate crimes. Proponents argued that because hate crimes targeted specific groups, that hate crimes are worse than regular crimes. This bill gives federal government greater ability to engage in hate crime investigations that local authorities don't really pay attention to.
The bill provides grants to the states that aid in investigating hate crimes, and it also gives the FBI permission to track statistics involving hate crimes regarding gender and gender identity.
This pink-faced man goes by the name Senator Patrick J. Leahy, the one who sponsored this rider. Now, let's take a look at the committees and the major changes to the bill, involving amendments and compromises.
The committees involved are the Senate Armed Services, the Senate Judiciary, the House Judiciary, the House Rules, the Conference Committee, the House's Armed Services, and the House Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security.
There were many amendments involved. One was of a perfecting nature, and another was to prevent duplication in the federal government, but unfortunately that was rejected. Another one was to clarify that the amendment shall not be construed or applied to infringe on the First Amendment rights. And another one required support for criminal investigations by state and local governments. Regarding compromises, the bill passed the Senate when the defense bill passed on July 23, 2009. As originally passed, the Senate version of the defense bill did not include the hate crimes legislation, so they agreed with the Senate to include such a legislation.
Now, let's go through the voting record of this bill. In the 107th Congress, the bill was known as the Local Law Enforcement Hate Crimes Prevention Act of 2001, and the sponsor was John Conyers in the House of Representatives. The bill was introduced on April 3, 2001 in the House, and died in the House Subcommittee on Crime.
The bill was introduced and sponsored by Ted Kennedy on March 27, 2001 in the Senate, but died due to a failure to reach cloture during a filibuster due to a 54-43 vote. Now, let's look at the 108th Local Law Enforcement Hate Crimes Prevention Act of 2004. It was introduced and sponsored by Representative John Conyers in the House on April 22, 2004, but died in the Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security. In the Senate, it was sponsored by Senator Gordon H. Smith and passed on June 14, 2004, but died in the Conference Committee. The acts in 2005 and 2007 faced a similar fate as the previous versions of the bill, as both acts died.
During the 111th Congress, the majority party was now Democrats instead of Republicans, who were the majority party from the 108th session of Congress to the 110th session of Congress.
During this time, the sponsor was Senator Patrick J. Leahy when the Local Law Enforcement Hate Crimes Prevention Act of 2009 was passed in the Senate with a 63 to 28 vote as an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act for this fiscal year 2010. Now the House and Senate are going to have a conference committee. The Senate voted with a 68 to 29 vote on October 22, 2009 to pass the conference report for the National Defense Authorization Act of 2010. The House voted with a 281 to 146 vote on October 8, 2009. And yeah, both houses sent the final bill to the president where it was signed on the same day. President Obama has been a longtime supporter of the bill. He stated, "Such actions are inexcusable and an affront to the American people."
I've been a long supporter of this bill. It's been on my website since 2008. I, Barack Obama, support and sign this bill.